Okay, welcome back, guys. This is week two, day two. This is part of lesson one from yesterday. So, this is a continuation. So, yesterday we learned the tools of the map. Today we're going to decode the map. And so, I'm going to tell you what that is. But basically, it's like analyze. We're going to look at it and see if we can solve problems using maps. So, you're going to see a bunch of these on the start tests like next year. So, it's good to have a little practice. So your warm up question for today, it's just basically what you learned yesterday. So it shouldn't be that complicated. I'm gonna review just real quick. So let's go over them. This day you don't have to do anything. I put my own, but you should have the ones from yesterday. So the first one, a map. It's a representation of a place. So a map, you can have a map of a video game, a map of your house, a map of the climate, a map of everything. So you can pretty much do a map out of anything. The compass rose, that's the tool that we use to locate all the directions. So you have north, south, east, and west. And if you want to be a little more specific, you have the in betweens: northeast, northwest, southwest, southeast. But you're gonna see them more tomorrow. So the grid again, I said you're gonna see it today, but it's more for the next lesson. And the reason why it's latitude and longitude, so I haven't gone in depth into that one. I'm gonna go over that tomorrow. But these again, they're the imaginary lines that get formed, like it forms squares in the planet. And you can see in the picture right there, it's like the map of the whole world, and it looks like it has lines and everything. Okay, so symbols. The symbols are the pictures used to represent anything you like. So, from your homework yesterday, you can do a symbol out of anything that you really like. The legend or the key, it tells you where everything is. So the symbols go inside the legend, and the scale gives you the ratio of distance. So the labels, those are actual words in a map. Usually, the ones that have a bunch of labels are like political maps because they have like names of cities and names of rivers and names of mountains. But you get the idea. And the last one, the title. So this is gonna be a short presentation. So right now I'm gonna go over these. These are types of maps, and there's a bunch of more, but these are the ones that we're gonna use for today. So we're gonna go over physical maps, political maps, and thematic maps. So the physical maps, how it says there, they use color and shading to show flat or rugged. Sorry, how rugged the land is. That's when you're looking at elevation and things like that. But it shows height. I'm gonna show you an example of each one. So the next one, political maps. This one shows Earth's human-made divisions. So if there's a country, they put the lines. Like Mexico and the United States is divided by the Rio Grande. So that's a political map. Sorry, a political boundary, but it's actually also a natural boundary. It's a river, like in between states. Like let's say between Texas and New Mexico, you see how the handle of Texas is just straight. That's just a made up border that's made by us humans. So a thematic map, it shows information on specific subject such as exploration, routes, bio sites, population density, economic activity, or migration. These ones are the ones that you're gonna see a bunch in the star. So I'm gonna go over the physical maps. So as you can see here, this is a physical map. This one is gonna show elevation of Texas. So decode. What does that actually mean? It means to analyze or interpret. So just substitute this word decode. So we're gonna analyze the map. We're gonna look at it. We're gonna interpret the information. So we're gonna look at the information and based on the information, we are going to answer some questions. So I'm gonna read the questions, but you have to answer these ones. I'm gonna make my own city. So if Los Fresnos is on the green area, what does that mean? So in order to answer that question, you will have to go into the legend and see the symbols. Or so in this case, it says elevation. In this case, you have the blue one, which is below the sea. So basically, that's the water. Then you have 0 feet, which is the green. Then 1,000 feet, and it goes up, up and up. So I'm not gonna answer that one for you, but it's pretty simple. But I'm gonna get something different. So let's say instead of Los Fresnos, I'm gonna go and look at San Antonio. So San Antonio, it's a little up. Let me point. It's gonna take me back, but you more or less get the idea. So right in the middle, right there. Let me go back. If this thing lets me. Okay, so San Antonio, it's still on the green. So that means that the elevation of San Antonio, it's near it's really close to the water. From you see a bunch of climate change and all that goes around in the news. So if we are really close to the sea and there's actual water rising, we're like the first ones to go. So it will include like San Antonio, Austin, Galveston, Houston. Now, so that's how you resolve questions using a map. You look at the key and the legend, and then you look at what is actually. So in this case, if Los Fresnos is on the green area, what does that mean? You're gonna put it on your own notebook. So another one, according to the map, what is the highest part of Texas? Well, what you have to do is look at here and see which one is higher. So you're gonna look at the red, and then you're gonna look at the map. Simple enough, right? So I'm not gonna answer it for you, but it's pretty simple. Okay. So now let's show a political map. So these are human-made divisions. We make them up. So let's look at the questions. It says, using this map, which city is closest to the border with Mexico? Well, you can say Brownsville, but Brownsville is actually not in the map. It's not written in. You can say Laredo, but it's actually not there either. So you have to look at what cities are here in order to answer the question. So using the map, which city is closest to the border with Mexico? And you will see which one is closer using the map and the cities in Texas. So I'm just gonna pretend that Brownsville is here. So if it was Brownsville and then there was two or three more, then you had a conflict because they're both the same. But let's say I don't have the actual answer, then I will put Brownsville because it's really close to the border with Mexico. Now, using the map, what U.S. states border? Let me take that off. It bothers. Okay, using this map, what U.S. states border with the Gulf of Mexico? Well, if you see here, which one it is, it's really simple. But let's say we have the whole map of the United States. Well, then you have Georgia, no, not Georgia, Florida, Alabama, and then you have Puerto Rico, which is inside. But we don't have them. So since we don't have that information, it's irrelevant to this map. So we have to look at this one. Okay. So it's a simple lesson. Now we're looking at the last one, the thematic map. So this one you can basically do whatever, as long as it's the information it's correct. So this one is going to talk about the Mexican American War, and it's actually not in the title. I I put it like that on purpose. So in this example, we're looking at the map of the Mexican American War. Now, if we didn't have, well, in this case, we don't have the title. It's like, you're guessing, but I'm giving you directions for this one. So Looking at this map, why do you think most battles took place in Mexican territory? And it's not uh, good or right answer. It's your guess. But I'll give you one, but you can't answer the same one. Uh, Most of the battles started here because they were actually disputing the Texas territory. So Texas, Mexico said this is Texas, only the green part, and Mexico said, oh, sorry, Mexico said Texas was only the green part, and the U.S. said it's no, it's all of it. So there's another reason why they were fighting in Mexico. So I'm gonna leave it for you to answer. Remember, it's not good or right. It's not right or wrong answer. It's speculation. So it's whatever you think, and we're gonna go over later on the course. Okay. So this is continued. This is another map. This is another example of thematic map. So what's the theme on this one? It's colleges and universities. So if you look at here, it's actually a little dated. So here, if you go down to the point in the bottom of Texas, it's the UT Brownsville, but UT Brownsville is not anymore. Now we have like the UT RGB, which is the same college, but they are now part of the whole thing. They merged with Edinburgh. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna look at the map first, take a look at it, what it is, then you're gonna see the question. Let me see if I can move this. No, I can't. Okay, so using the map, how many colleges and universities belong to the UT system? So in that case, you will have to actually go and see every little label that is on the map and see which ones belong to the UT system. It's as simple as that. Okay, so while you're doing that, you're using your map skills that we learned from yesterday. Now, this is just an extra. We're gonna cover this tomorrow, but just so you have a little taste. So this is a globe. So let me go back, just so you can see all of these. Okay, all the other maps are like 2D. They're just squared. Now this one is a globe, and you've seen a bunch of them in classes. So this one is actually like a balloon. It's like a real Earth, but smaller. So that's where the scale comes in. And this one, not this one particularly, or not that I can see, but all of these ones usually have the latitude and longitude, which we're going to cover tomorrow. But these ones are a little better because they don't distort. And distort means to get out of like place, like kind of like a filter in like Facebook, or I don't know what other um, social media accounts use this, Instagram or Snapchat. I'm not sure. But anyway, so they distort your picture to make you look better or worse, depending on who you're taking the picture of. But the globe is actually just the same as the Earth, but smaller. And the Earth is actually supposed to be a little like an oval thing, but for this presentation, that's what it is. It's a smaller version. So this one and the map, they're kind of similar, but they're not the same. Okay, so this is the exit ticket. You just have to review a little bit. So this question is from the star from I think last year or 2 years ago from the eighth grade, and we actually have to use our map skills to solve the question. So you don't have to know the answer, but just to know what it is. So what type of maps are these? And I misspelled that. Um, what are these maps? So if you look at back at what it is, in the other ones you're gonna find out, okay, this is this because it has lines and it has borders. That gives you a clue. Now, what map tools do you need to know in order to answer the question? Well, I gave you one, which is you need to know what type of map it is. But just put me another one here so I know you are understanding what we're covering. And this is gonna be it for today. So I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Thank you.